in the room. Come on in the room. The Bucks win it tonight, 129-117 over them sorry front-running Pacers. If you're from Indiana, you stink. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor. He writes out all of our scripts. He gives us our medicine in our room. We are live as the Cream City crossover. The Groove Track House third.
JT.
Justin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are in the building. I love it. I love it. Hey, tonight's a good night, fellas. Tonight's a good night, and I'm feeling good. I love what I saw tonight. Bucks win at 129-117. I know. The Bucks should have won by 30 points tonight. And we'll talk about a little bit of that, but I'm not even going to harp on any of the bad or right at this moment because I'm so happy that this basketball team has won 5 out of their last 6. As Doc Rivers would say, they've won 6 in a row. But tonight was a night you could tell early on the Bucks had this game circled. The Bucks had this game circled for one reason, because they knew what it was. Because you knew that these front-running bums, the Indiana Pacers, you knew what they were about. Tyrese Halliburton is an absolute bum. What'd you say, Justin? It pops in the front row, looking like a scrub too. Everybody looking like a bums. I'm tired of Halliburton. You know what they say when they talk about Giannis shooting the ball as a turnover, and that was Tyrese Halliburton tonight. You shoot the ball, you shoot the 3 as a turnover. He hit a couple shots late. But we know what Tyrese Halliburton is about. We know he's a front runner, and we know he's a fraud. I remember I used to call the Miami Heat. I used to call the Miami Heat the Fluke Boys when they beat us back in, what was that, 2000, in the bubble, the Fluke Boys. These are the new Fluke Boys. The Indiana Pacers are the new Fluke Boys. They are who we thought they were. And last year, because Giannis got hurt and Dame got hurt and Chris was hurt all year, we let him off the hook. And no more. Your time is over. It's done. Finito. Tonight was the start of that, 129-117. The Pacers got absolutely buried, and it wasn't as close as the score would indicate it to be. If you'd like to, please get at us in the comments, in the YouTube, in the chat. What up, chat? I'll get to you guys in a second. But also get at us at Twitter, at TCIIESQ. And let's do a game recap real quick. 129-117. Bucks win it tonight. Giannis 37, 10, and 11. He done messed around and got a triple-double. 2 steals, 1 block. They're throwing them off. They throwing it off the backboard. 14 for 21 tonight. Giannis was a plus 16. He did have 6 turnovers, but another insane night for Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Damian Lillard, 24 and 12 assists tonight. Think about what we're doing here. I can do some quick math. What's 37 plus 24, JT? You know it better than me. What's 37 and 24?
61.
61 and 12 and 11 is what? 23? Something like that. So 61 points and 23 assists between your 2 superstars, as they say on the golf course. That'll work. That's right down the fairway, my ladies and gentlemen. 24, 12 assists, 5 rebounds for Damian Lillard. Rough start to the first half. Second half, I thought he played really well. Andre Jackson gets 20 minutes tonight. He picks up 6 rebounds. Taurean Prince gives you 13 points tonight off 5 of 5. Didn't miss a shot. 3 for 3 from the three-point line. Bobby Portis, another guy, tale of 2 halves. First half, Bobby Portis is insane. I think he might hit all 17 in the first half. If I'm not correct. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had all 17 points in the first half. 17.7 rebounds. That first half was a work of art. It was masterful. 23 minutes from Mr. Portis. AJ Green, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and some of the greatest on-ball defense you'll see in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform. How about AJ Green in 23 minutes? DeLon Wright did his thing, 2 points, 2 rebounds. And let's give it up to Mr. Gary Trent Jr., 29 minutes tonight for GTJ. 18 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds, 6 for 10 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3. Slump no more. Gary Trent Jr. is back to being the best, maybe, and again, since he's been to the bench, maybe the best 6 man that the Bucks have on the bench. Gary Trent Jr. playing well. Ben Mathurin, 20 points tonight, 9 rebounds for Indiana. Pascal Siakam, 25 and 8 boards. Miles Turner, 15 points, 8 boards. They let him open for a few threes. Tyrese, the bum Halliburton, 18 points, 9 assists. I don't want to see him in another All-Star game ever again. TJ McConnell with 12 points tonight. Obi Toppin, 6 points and 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Again, an overall good night for the Bucks. That's what tonight was, an overall good night. The Bucks came into the game, started this thing off absolutely pedal to the metal. They got a little, pedal to the metal. I believe it was the first half. Indiana started their run to end the first half, but the Bucks closed out well at the end of the first half. And then you had a third quarter where everything's going well. You started looking like it was like you're the Harlem Globetrotters. You got Andre Jackson Jr. dribbling between his legs on a fast break. It was insane. Doc calls the timeout, tries to reel guys in, and you just let Indiana get into themselves. I thought they lost a little bit of just a lack of focus. Didn't play that they should have, and you let Indiana get this thing. You were up 25 at one point. You let the Pacers get to within, I believe it was 6, which again just should not happen. Can't happen, shouldn't happen, but it's okay. The Bucks regained their focus, regained composure. Dame hit shots. Giannis was huge down the stretch. Gary Trent Jr. played well. And you did everything you were supposed to do. You got a W. That's what this is all about. And again, 12-point victory, but the margin wasn't quite as large, or actually was a little bit larger than it looked on the scoreboard. Overall, good night. You go send the Indiana Pacers a message, and overall, you're sending the league a message right now that the Milwaukee Bucks are back. This is Milwaukee Buck basketball. Putting up 130 a night, playing hard-nosed defense, doing what you got to do. You got superstar Giannis, superstar Dame. Let's get this thing together when Chris Middleton comes back, and let's run the table on these boys. Still, maybe some moves we made. I know we'll talk in the look around, or right before that, we may talk a little bit about some of the news that came out on the Bucks potential trade rumors. But tonight was a good night for the Milwaukee Bucks, 129-117. That's what I saw. JT, what'd you see?
Man, you know what? I gotta go ahead and say this. Now, listen, Bobby Portis has caught a lot of flack this year. He sure has. But Bobby Portis tonight showed up and showed out. He came out swinging in that first half, 7-11, 3 for 4 from 3. Hey, listen, if we're going to criticize you, we got to go ahead and give you praise when it's warranted too. That's the biggest thing about this show. We keep this thing a buck. So Bobby Portis, sir, that first half, I absolutely loved it. I saw the Bucks go up. The Bucks were up. Was it like 10, 12, nothing or something like that too? They came out swinging. You came out, you punched this team in the mouth. This is what we're looking to see. Guys, we've been saying this all along. This Bucks team at full strength is far more superior than this Pacers team. Don't get out there and play with your food. Come out and hit these dudes in the mouth. And yeah, it looked a little shaky towards the very end, but not really. We knew this team was going to win. Now, like you said, Trey, we could have won by 30-something points, but that just kind of didn't seem to happen there. But I saw a Bucks team tonight that came out with their foot on the gas. I absolutely loved it. Even in that second quarter, right, finishing up the half, that's how you finish a half strong. Well, they scored like 9, 10 points in the last couple of minutes of that half. Bucks was getting it in, getting nasty with it, man. What else did I see tonight? Let's talk about my man Gary Trent. Hey, big bro, I don't know if he went and got the what's your man's name? Y'all watch TV Land? The $6 million man. The bionic, you know what I'm talking about? Like the bionic man. What's my man's name? God, I gotta. Like I wasn't alive to watch it live, but I was watching shit late at night. But hey, Gary Trent went and got a new spine, and Gary Trent rolling. This is what I'm talking about. 6 of 10. Gary Trent went crazy tonight. By the way, guys, I don't know if y'all looked up, but I think we finished shooting like 48% from 3 tonight, which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That is outstanding. I know we're a team that lives and dies with a 3 to an extent, but tonight, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited because I saw some fight in this team. I saw this team look like contenders. Now, I get it. It's the Pacers, and I don't care about that. I ain't paying attention to them. I'm paying attention to us. Man, and Gary Trent. But you know what? I told y'all before the show, my wife's upstairs, but my girl Allie came through. Yes, sir. My girl Allie came.
Who was that?
Allie came through. Dame Lillard tossed that thing up to Giannis. Boy, Giannis yammed it down. And then, Gary Trent doing some glass work. Allie came back around. Oh, hang on. Hey, you know what? I'm going to come see you too. Gary Trent laying that thing up off the glass, and then Giannis started. There was just so much to be excited about tonight. This is what we wanted to see, guys. We saw some energy. We saw some fight. We saw this team taking it to them. Even the role players from Prince to Wright, everybody chipped in, kind of did their part tonight. I know Andre Jackson Jr. didn't really wow you in the stat sheet, but hey, you know what? This is a good night. And guys, we got to take it. We got to take it. You know what? I'll tell you what, I'm so happy right now. I feel like the married man that got out the house and went to the strip club. I didn't touch nothing, but I saw a whole lot that I like. And you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You talking about Lee Majors? That's a $6 million man. That's what you talking about.
Is that his name? Lee Majors? I think it might be Lee Majors. The Bionic Man.
Bionic Man. Okay.
They had to rebuild that dude. Yeah, Lee Majors. Man.
I mean, you should be feeling like the married man that went to the strip club. You said your side joint alley oop came through and brought that
Hey,
fine thing through there looking
hey,
great, man.
hey.
That's some
Didn't
good
touch nothing, but I
quality.
saw everything.
Hey, hey, look,
Yes, man, crazy.
oh man. Hey, before I go, man, hey, shout out to all these Badgers fans up here in West Virginia that said they was gonna tune in to watch this Bucks post game show tonight. You couldn't have tuned into a better one. We beat the crap out of that adopted stepchild, funny looking dude from Oshkosh Bagash and his ugly daddy in the first
Oh
row.
Lord.
He ugly.
Oh,
His mama ugly too. The whole family ugly.
Hey,
His brother
yo.
ugly too. Yeah, we had to admit you was crying. And then, of course, my parents down there, my mom's and Mike Jones, who? Mike Jones in Dallas, Texas, watching. Hey, but real quick before I get into my thoughts, man, let's go into what Doc thought tonight. Doc thought that the defensive plan was phenomenal tonight. We had a lot of bad turnovers, but the defense was definitely locked in. And we're forcing teams to do one or two things. And Trey, you be hitting on this stuff like you need to be on that bench with one of them little quarter zips on. But what they're doing with the offense is they're forcing, or I'm sorry, with the defense, they wanted to force those guys off the three-point line and make them make contested shots over Brooke, over Giannis, or over Bobby. And I thought the three of them did a great job on the defensive end. Brooke had a couple bogus foul calls, but it is what it is. The offense, he said the offense struggled with the small lineups and with that zone initially, and that kind of let them back in. But then they kind of made an adjustment to close out, JT, I think you mentioned it, to close out that second half, and that's where they made that adjustment on that zone. I mean, he's 23 assists from Giannis and Dame is just amazing, and he's allowing them to facilitate the offense, get to the paint. Either you're going to help and you're going to get an AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr. wide open three, or Giannis or Dame are going to go to the bucket on you. And Dame is getting a lot better without scoring, just finding that this isn't Portland and you don't have to do everything. And then the last thing that I thought that he said that was really of substance was Gary Trent Jr. is really starting to come into his own as far as coming off the bench. I know he came to Milwaukee and he expected to be a starter. So I don't even know if I need to give my thoughts because, I mean, hey, Doc and Trey and JT, I mean, well, I tell you this, I did have one thought, Bobby.
Yeah.
Hey, the mayor is back. Welcome home. This energy picked up tremendously tonight. Doc already hit on that. How about our bench outscoring them 44-30 tonight, though? That was one of the things that kind of killed us. I already talked about how the Halliburtons, all their whole family should shut up, including the brother that was crying in the playoffs. So you can shut up too. Go ahead. I don't even know what type of bus you take to get to Oshkosh, but going up 147, homie.
Listen,
it's probably short.
Hey,
it's probably short. That's.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about Halliburton, right? And this is fair. This is 100% fair criticism. I was told that Halliburton is supposed to be one of the best players in the NBA. I was told that Halliburton is supposed to be, this dynamic top 3 all NBA type guard. I was told he had the skills to be arguably one of the best point guards in the NBA. Well, if he got them skills, where they at? It's like Patrick Mahomes' daddy. People are like, yeah, he grew up with bread because if his dad got money, where it at? You don't see that. What's going on here? Tyrese Halliburton. Listen, the decline is there, but I kind of feel like he was overrated from the jump, right? Like he was overrated from the jump because quite honestly, after February of last year, he really didn't look all that great. Right now, he really don't look all that great. I don't think Tyrese Halliburton might not even be a top 10 point guard in the league this year, and that's wild. But that's true. I don't think he's cracking top 10.
100% front runner, and that's the whole thing about Tyrese Halliburton and what he was doing. When you talk about how he was playing last year and the things that he gave you, you're right, JT. It was always meant to be like this. It was always like, again, it's when you are who we thought you were. I mean, and that's what he's always been, and so it never looked fluid. You shooting that old flicked up, jump shot like what's my man Sean Marion. It don't even look good. None of it looks good. He's an oversized guard. I think he has above average vision. I think he's a decent playmaker. I think he's a good player, but making him up like he's a perennial all-star, I don't know if that's Tyrese Halliburton. And we'll see what he ends up being, what he is. I know Indiana had guys out, but here's the thing: Indiana fans, they were crying about it. They were crying about it in the Twitter mentions. We had guys out. Da 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 da. All do you know in the play? Nobody said that in the playoffs when Giannis was out, when Dame was out, when we have.
Yep.
So when Bobby Portis is getting teched up and kicked out, it was a bunch of talk then. But again, that's what front running organizations. That's what front running fans. That's what people who when you ain't never been there before. You can't. But I don't even blame them because if you ain't never been there before, you can't act like you've been there. We act like you've been. They ain't been there before. They don't know no better. Bunch of bums. They like I said, they wasn't alive when Reggie Miller was going crazy on people. So that's what it is. They knew to this. The Bucks, we're true to this. We know what this is about. We've been doing this for a while. And that's the thing. The Milwaukee Bucks have an actual superstar. That's the difference between a fake superstar and an actual superstar. Fake superstars got to tap their wrist and imitate what other people are doing, like Damian Lillard. The Bucks out here making things happen, and that's a prime example of tonight. And again, revenge is a dish best served cold. The Indiana Pacers got it tonight. They had it coming to them. This is the NBA Cup. It wasn't all that talk from the NBA Cup last year. Like I said, it seemed like the Bucks circled this game on the calendar. I circled it too because that's when I was I was foaming at the mouth when they came out and said that the Milwaukee Bucks were in the same bracket as for this stupid. I don't even want the NBA Cup, but I wanted to beat the hell out of the Pacers, and that's what we did. And I'm glad Daddy Hallie had a front row seat for it.
The boys don't know how to win, man. You just said it. They don't know how to win. Hey, listen, man. Sorry, JT, to jump in there, but the only thing I had from my notes that I forgot to mention was AJ Green got that big D energy, man. He out there playing defense.
He was out there playing that sticky defense, though. He was out there playing that sticky defense. Notice I said sticky defense, not sticky D. Come on now.
I know a big D energy wasn't in the notes. I know you.
Hey, let me say that right there. hey, look, man. It's just good to beat them, man. I think you're right. I think we circled them. And the last thing I tell you, man, my grandmama always taught me this thing, shout out to my grandma. Hopefully she watching us from up there. But she told me, you laughing now, you're going to be crying before the night's over. And my other grandma said, your mouth going to write a check that your rear end can't cash. So which one you want? Halliburton's, plural, all of y'all. You got them all tonight.
What's funny, though, man, is that, if there's anybody on this team who's played well consistently against the Bucks, it's your boy Pascal. That's who's really played well from this Pacers team against the Bucks for the most part, going back to last season. Here's my thing about Halliburton, right? If you're going to be an elite guy, you got to step up for your team, and you got to show up. Now, he's never done that. I don't understand. Is this nasty work by the agent? Did his agent start paying these media outlets to pump this dude up? Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. Somebody in the comments hilarious. Somebody said Halliburton sleeping in different beds every night.
He out here with the playing in the snow.
Nothing wrong with that.
Playing in all them different
Indy
in the snow.
So what? Oh, is that what it was? Indy hosted the All-Star?
Yeah, so they needed a face for it. That's why wasn't Miles Turner All-Star last year too?
Was Miles Turner?
That makes sense. And Caitlin Clark had the pop check for the Fever, so.
Yeah, and he was like the celebrity host face of it or whatever. Kind of like what Steph's going to do this year, man. But, catch this work, man. Every one of you. And hey, man, I know y'all dudes don't, but I do. Steve Novak, right? Please stop making excuses for this Rick Carlisle crap. That's just a great hard-nosed hustle by Rick Carlisle. No, that's a bunch of bums that just got their behinds cooked, and they trying any way possible to save face. Look, dude, you can make that bucket with 0.2 seconds left on the clock if you want to. You still 0-2 in the darn cup, and you minus 22 points. Going back to Indianapolis.
Yeah, JT, check your phone. But let's go to the let's go to the comments here. 608 UW says love whipping that Pacer ass. He also says barbecue chicken alert. DJ Droop TV says, notice you didn't mention your boy Brook. I omitted Brook, I think, in the recap. I didn't mean to, but I did omit him. Mac P says, once Middleton comes back and gets settled, this team will be very dangerous. Giannis' leadership has been pivotal during this stretch. 6-0 UW jumps in and says Tyrese wasn't talking tonight. He absolutely wasn't, because that's what front runners do. They don't talk when they're not in front. I believe this might have been a wire-to-wire dub for the Bucks. Yeah, because the Bucks start off 10-0. So yeah, this is a wire-to-wire win for the Milwaukee Bucks. Al Farouk Amino for 3 says, Dame, 3 consecutive games with 10 assists. Nice to see, especially with him struggling from the field. I agree, that is good to see. Jody, is that you? Says, shout out Giannis, 82% from the line. At Quick Draw McGraw says, no pack content, thank the Lord. That is true. State of Mind says, yeah, Bobby played well, but later on the Pacers want to run because of him. Give and take, I guess. Deshaun Hill says, what you sipping on? Hey, I got this sangria. You know what I'm saying? Kirkland's too. Hey, I don't need a little.
Hey, you drinking the Costco, the Costco brand wine?
Yeah, that Costco sangria. That's what I'm on.
Hey,
that's what I'm on.
You know what? Hey, the Costco liquor hit though. The Costco, the tequila, the vodka, all of that stuff, it hits. The thing about the Costco thing too is that there's rumors that some of that stuff, the distilleries, I guess, are close to, or some of the places are I think some of the distilleries like share buildings with other labels, and we all know Costco ain't making it itself. It's probably another brand's whatever, but it's got the Costco badge on it. Having said that, though, I would 100% go buy a Costco bottle of liquor and pour it in something else and serve it.
Pour it in something else.
Pour it into a decanter. Oh yeah. What's that? That's that good.
That's that good. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what that is, man.
Yeah, nah, ain't no shame in my game, baby. I'm with the slap the curtains on. We all good with it.
Listen, man, what age were you when you found out that wine comes in a box? Good wine come in a box. I bet you didn't know that, right? Yeah, I didn't know that till the W2 changed. I didn't know that to the first. I didn't know that till the W2 got a little bit stronger. I said, okay, add a 0 on that thing. Here we go. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you guys this from this perspective, watching the Bucks and just getting more into this game and with what you saw. And by the way, Justin, I give, because like we say on this show, we hard on Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis played well tonight. We give him his flowers, give him his props. I think he did have a worse second half, but that's okay. But on the show, we give props. And Steve Novak, your boy, I listened to Steve tonight, and he was decent. Steve was decent tonight. I didn't mind it at all. So I give Steve Novak some props. But I wanted to ask you guys, from this perspective, what is it about the Milwaukee Bucks, that from a constructive criticism standpoint, you had to play a full 48 minutes. This game should have been over long before. I mean, again, this is a 6-point game with 7 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go, whatever it was. It shouldn't have been like that. But do you attribute that to a lack of focus? Is that a Doc Rivers problem? Is that just why? I guess, and again, I think it came from turnovers. It came from poor shot selection. It came from, the Buck hit a shot, and I thought for the most part we played good defense tonight. But you hit a shot and a bucket in a trend. They can't make a basket and then lay up boat race you down the court. Like, again, shades of what we saw last year happened more often. Again, it didn't happen often tonight, but there were a few instances, especially late in that game, where it did happen. Again, the Indiana Pacers, you beat them. We know there's some bums, but I ask because I want to know, you can't do that against good teams. We've seen the Bucks play with their food often. I would have liked to see them go ahead and take care of business. What do you attribute that most to when you see a thing like that where you're up 25 and get boat raced back down to 6? Or is that just the NBA? Sometimes that just happens. What do you attribute that most to?
I know Justin may disagree with me here, but I think some of that is this team checks out. You're 100% right. Sometimes you see they're prone to that. That's a weakness that we've seen all season. There's low IQ basketball, lazy basketball. Guys just I'm not really sure what it is. Like you said, lack of focus is a very nice way to put it. Right? There's a lack of focus here because there are just lapses. This team just starts sleepwalking from time to time. When is that going to be? It's really almost every game. They're going to sleepwalk for a little bit. I don't know if is it what's the joint called? We call it the itis, right? When you eat your food and you get sleepy afterwards. Whatever it is they got. I don't know if they get that. A lot of times they get the itis after halftime for a little bit, and that third quarter looks a bit rough from time to time too. So I'm not really sure what it is, man, but I do think that mental lapse, this team is prone to mental lapses, low IQ moments, and just an overall lack of focus. The good news tonight, though, is you had moments, but you were able to snap out of it at some point, right? You were able to snap out, hey, wake it on up, right? And the thing that I would like to see is that if you got one player out there sleepwalking and sleep, I'd like to see the team, hey, snap it out. Hey, come on, man. Let's get with it, right? Because you just don't want everybody out there lollygagging, right? A couple guys got to be away.
Justin, you got anything?
Yeah, man. So I disagree a little bit, JT. I do think that we definitely we were doing some bad turnovers, some lackadaisical passing, bad ball handling. But I think it's just the nature of the NBA, right? Like you look at this game that's on right now for those that are watching it. Dallas is on a 13-2 run. They're on a hot clip right now. They're going to come back to earth. When we go on these big runs, especially in this this cup thing, whatever you call it, the cup, you really need to keep that belt to that behind a lot more often in order, because if we get tied with one of these teams, we got to be able to separate ourselves and make sure that we get to this Vegas. But I just think it's the NBA, man. Everybody goes on runs, man. I was watching the Hornets game the other night. They were up by a billion gazillion on the Detroit Pistons, and then they went to overtime with those jokers. So it happens. I just hate to see it with the turnovers, though. The turnovers are bad. Hey, one thing that, from what you mentioned with the comments, though, I wanted to point out, Dame has, and here they go about to kill us in the comments again, Dame has really having a difficulty adjusting coming back off that concussion. And I'm just so proud of that dude because of the way that he's still playing, though when his shot's not going in. But I'd never had a concussion, so I don't know what it's like, but I think he's doing a great job of finding a way to impact wins on this basketball game for this team, man. It's outstanding.
He absolutely is. And again, I thought tonight was again a night where Dame had he had to grind through it a little bit. I think I'm looking at the stats now. They may have added an assist onto Dame's numbers. I believe it was they were at 11. He had 12 assists when I looked earlier. Now I see 13 on my stat sheet. But I think he had to grind through it a little bit. And maybe I attribute that to some of the concussion because it seems to be the thing that's affecting him most is his shooting. He was 3 for 8 from 3. He did hit a couple in the fourth quarter, which were big. But it really hasn't affected as much his playmaking. It hasn't affected, and again, his burst. He looks good driving to the basket. I think his midi looks okay, looks decent. And then you talk about the 3-point shot is where you're really seeing this kind of trail off from Damian Lillard and the long range. Speaking of middies, and I think Giannis only shot maybe 1 or 2 tonight. Giannis is top. Did y'all know Giannis is top 5 in mid-range jumpers in the NBA this year? So, he has really worked on that part of his game. He's hitting it at, I believe, like a 44% clip. Which again, he's shooting the ball extremely well. He's what everybody thinks that AD is. That's what they think AD is. That's actually Giannis. But he's shooting the ball well.
You mean the dude with no bag?
Right. Yeah, the bag. Yeah, where's the bag at? All over the place. But you see, he's shooting the ball well, and then Gary Trent has found his shot. So from a jump shooting perspective, I think JT, you mentioned. I can't remember. You mentioned what the Bucks shot from 3 tonight. Again, everything has changed about this basketball team. The shots are falling at a higher rate. I think the defensive they found some defensive-oriented players when you're starting off Ajax and you have AJ Green, who again, I saw Bill Simmons today say that AJ Green was he's a sneaky athletic or sneaky defender. And we all know that's just code for he's white. But AJ Green, if you watch film, there's nothing sneaky athletic about AJ Green. He's not a sneaky good defender. He's legitimately a very good on-ball defender. You just gotta watch him. But it is what it is. You take the moniker. He's playing well and he's shooting the ball. And tonight, what did he shoot? I think I look at he was 2 of 7, 1 for 6 of 3, but they're all really good shots. He plays really well within the flow of the offense, and sometimes you're gonna hit, sometimes you're not. But I think from a shooting perspective, things have picked up, and then you're really at a point now where you are picking your poison, because I think two things have been, and it's so weird because Giannis, and I know Giannis shot 81% from the free throw line tonight, 82%, but it's so weird. His mid range, he's shooting the ball so well, but he's missing free throws. But the two things that have really stepped up in Giannis' game, that midi, and then you talk about underrated. He's a very underrated passer, very underrated playmaker. And, I mean, you saw the no-look pass tonight. Obviously gets a triple-double. He had one where he was driving down the lane, whipped it across back to Gary Trent Jr., who hit the three. Giannis have a triple-double every night if guys hit shots. You just absolutely will. And like you said tonight, JT, the Bucks shot 47% for 3, 17 to 36. That's really good. And Jamar Kenner says Ajax was elite playing defense on Halliburton. I agree with that too. I want to put some of it on Halliburton just being a bum. But I do have to give credit to Ajax Jr. when he was in defending Halliburton. He did a great job, and I'm going to shout out Ajax as well because he picked up full court. That's tough to do in the NBA. Guys don't like doing it. You know you're in there for a reason. I like Andre Jackson Jr. You go in there, you pick up full court, know your role, and do your job. He did it to the best of his ability. Just look at the basket when you get the ball underneath. Just look at the basket. That's all I ask.
Well, I'll tell you this, though, right? So to your point about, and that's kind of what makes tonight such a great win, is the role players did their job. The role players did their job tonight, right? Andre Jackson Jr. only took 5 shots tonight. But again, we weren't expecting on. He only took 5. He took kind of what he had again. You're right. You got to make the easy ones. But at the end of the day, like between Prince and Trent, the role players did their job.
Absolutely.
Here's an interesting thing about AJ Green, though. So last year, AJ Green and I think it was Malik Beasley. Were they the only 2 Bucks players to finish? Maybe Middleton too. But there were Bucks players that finished the season in the 40-40 club, right? 40% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line. So they were the only ones that to finish in the 40-40 club for percentages. You know what AJ Green is shooting this year?
What's that?
50% from the field. You know what he's shooting from the 3-point line?
What's that?
49.3.
What's that?
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? 49.3. I mean, like the numbers speak for themselves when it comes to AJ Green and his shooting ability. Even though he get a couple nights where the shots just aren't falling that way. But the other thing is when Bill Simmons and these guys go, he's sneaky athletic, right? We can say sneaky athletic is, that's code for, he's white, right? And that is true 99% of the time. But you know what also gets me about that too? That's also code for, I really haven't watched all these games, but I've just turned the TV on a couple times, and I've seen this dude that I'm really not that familiar with. And, hey, I wasn't expecting that.
Yep.
No, you weren't expecting that because you don't watch the damn games in the first place.
100%.
Make that point too.
100%.
That's just one of those things.
Hey, at the end of the day, AJ Green is a hooper on both sides of the floor. And when these dudes have been closing out on his 3-point shot, he's been taking a couple bounces, getting to the midi. He's been hitting that. He's been distributing the ball. When we have times where McConnell was walling Dame off so he couldn't get the ball in, who brought the ball up? AJ Green brought the ball up a lot of times when he was in the game. Like, the kid can hoop. He's a good basketball player. It's disrespectful to him to say sneaky athletic. And JT, I think you hit the nail right on the head, what they were trying to say. The same way that when you notice certain quarterbacks, they don't have a moxie and crap like that. It's bogus. And AJ Green can hoop. Matter of fact, he might be one of the best hoopers. What Steven Jackson say on his podcast that one day? If you can't play both ends, he don't respect you. Yeah. AJ Green is playing both ends.
He is.
And he's checking good dudes. I see the dude, Jalen Green for the Rockets, go crazy tonight. AJ Green kind of held that in check, man. Hey, real quick on the chat, too. Daniel Cantrell, you got to be like more off than off could be possible. Like, to call Giannis a ball hog, like, we recap Doc's post game. All you got to do is go look at a box score, my brother. 23 assists between Giannis and Dame. There's no bad blood. Giannis is not a ball hog. If you got a layup, take the damn layup. Like, what are we talking about here? Sorry.
Yeah, no, it 100%. Dame, I don't understand Dame saying him and Dame don't get along. Like, where Giannis will have to be willing not to chase MVP. Like, what I have no idea. Excuse me, I have no idea what we're even talking about here. That doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
I know what it is. That's Kendrick. That's Kendrick Perkins. That's really Kendrick Perkins.
Okay, KP out here trying to figure out what we got going on the Cream City crossover. Because that didn't make Any sense at all. I don't understand it. But you know where you talking about chasing? You know where you can do a lot of chasing. Anybody know?
Jason, where?
Curly's.
You
Go
go,
ahead.
you go
Yes,
Curly's.
sir.
You go Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill and get them shots and chase them while you're at it. You can definitely do that. Go to Lakeview Boulevard in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Get down to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Proud sponsor of the Cream City crossover. Hey, you know what they're doing on Wednesday night, JT?
What they doing on Wednesday
Bingo.
night?
They doing bingo. You know what they're doing on Thursday night, JT?
Trivia.
You know they're doing bingo on trivia Wednesday and Thursdays. And do you know what you can win, Justin?
Some Bucks tickets.
Some Bucks tickets. You absolutely can win some Bucks tickets at Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Drill. Go down there Wednesday night bingo, Thursday night trivia, section 102, row 23, seats 1 and 2. Hey man, I wouldn't send you. Tell them I wouldn't send you if it wasn't a great place to go, great spot. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City crossover sent you. And of course, during all televised Milwaukee Bucks games, $3 bottles and pints. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill is the place to be. Your Bucks headquarters for everything Bucks. Oh, and by the way, I'm not done just yet. You still have time because we're still in the month of November to get to the bourbon raffle. Lots of good bourbon out there. It's benefiting the Pewaukee Food Pantry. One raffle, 12 winners. Tickets can be purchased the entire month of November, $5 each or 10 for $40. The winners will be drawn and notified on Monday, December the 2nd. 100% of ticket sales will be donated directly to the food pantry. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. It's a good time. Get out there and have some fun. Let's go to the Twitter and see what people are saying there. At Adrian_K says the Bucks were beating themselves and keeping the Pacers in the game the entire second half, and it still never felt in doubt. I agree. I didn't feel like it was ever in doubt either. I felt really good throughout the entire game, and yeah, I know it got dicey, but I felt good. Chris_Bucks34 says Pacers dodged the Giannis bullet back in April and thought they were sweet because of it, despite still needing 6 games to win. I dare a Pacers fan get in my mentions again and try to talk. Team is gelling, starting to roll. It's getting very fun now. At the Wisconsin Kid says, keep the Nasses around the team. We're showing good signs, but we need to start putting away teams. That's what the good teams do. You saw Thanasis again courtside tonight. Who knows? I thought that maybe that is a big thing. At Goodell and Fan says TJ McConnell was plus 15 in the game. Indiana lost by 12. Let's read a couple more here. At Gabriel 134, a lot of numbers after, says I like GTJ, Garrett Jr. and Giannis' chemistry and development. At RMill53 says can't blow 20-point leads. And let's do one more here. At SunK345. That Sunk 345 says the Pacers are an annoying team. They play so fast, it makes my head dizzy. Test them boys to see if they're on EPO. They seemingly never get tired and run after every rebound. With that being said, good win. And I'll do one more. At Classy Now _ says our record looks better than what it was a week ago. Give Giannis the MVP already. He is the best player in the league. I don't disagree with that. I agree. I think Giannis is the best player in the league. I think any way to try to pretend like he is not is a joke to me. And I get it. Joker's very good. You could maybe argue totality over the last few seasons just because Giannis has been injured in the playoffs. I think you could argue Joker. I don't think you can't argue, but I think what I have a problem with on these ESPN shows, you said talk about Perkins and those guys, is when they try to pretend like it's Joker and then, they lump like Giannis and AD, they lump people in. No, it's Giannis, Joker at the top, and then you start going down. Then there's a gap in everybody else. To pretend like Giannis is not right up there and one, I think that's a joke, and his play has absolutely proved it. Again, Bucks winners of 5 of their last 6 and rolling.
And keep in mind, Giannis is also leading the league in scoring right now. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not really paying attention to stats this early in the season, but Giannis is averaging 32 points a game. He's leading the league in scoring. He's also top 10 in field goal percentage as well. So when you talk about, ball hogging here, listen, he has the eternal green light and certainly should. Having said that, though, got to put some respect on his passing ability and his willingness to pass and find open looks for other guys.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just laughable now, the way that these guys try to diminish Giannis. And I mean, I think a lot of it goes into that whole narrative with trying to get this dude out of Milwaukee and stuff like that. But he's going to continue to hoop, and he's going to continue to point to his chest and let everybody know that Milwaukee is on the front, Bucks is on the front, and that's what he represents. And I mean, I don't know how you don't put this cat in the MVP front runner right now, as early as it can be in the season, but he's making buckets, he's making passes, he's making blocks, he's doing everything possible. Hey, real quick, because, you know, a lot of the people be at my head about questionable calls. He definitely stepped out of bounds against the Utah Jazz.
He did.
NBA oldest one. I don't care.
I definitely agree. Yeah, he did step out of bounds, and like I said, the NBA did they owed it. Was that the Jazz? Was that the Rockets?
Rockets. My bad.
Rockets. In the chat, I just want to make sure we clear this up. The medical drug dealer says, "How do we win Bucks tickets? Is it like a raffle?" So maybe I want to be clear. The raffle is for the bourbon. There's a raffle that goes to at Curly's Waffle Sports Bar and Grill. That is for the bourbon, and all those those are donated to the Pewaukee Food Pantry. To win the Bucks tickets, you go down there and you got to go play. You got to go play bingo on Wednesday night, and you got to do trivia on Thursday night. You do those two things, that's when Bucks tickets are up for grabs. Wednesday and Thursday night. The Bat Deck Grillers has been checking you guys out recently. Love the commentary and enthusiasm. Great job, y'all. Go Bucks. Rep the set. Appreciate it. And Robert Henry has a question as well. I want to pose this to you guys. It says maybe a dumb question. Would you guys rest players tomorrow versus the Hornets? What do you guys think? I'm of the mindset that at what are the Bucks right now? 7-9.
7-9.
Nah, y'all ain't earned no rest. No. Maybe if you were, if you 12, what's 9-7? That's what 16 games. Maybe you 12-4, you 13-3. We can rest. Nah, 7-9. Y'all got to go out there and play. Go get a dub. That's me though. What do you guys think?
I mean, I would say it depends on my team, right? Depends on who ailing right now. Is there anybody ailing? Is it like, listen, there's someone who is ailing right now. We can give them some rest tomorrow. Maybe they play on, Monday, and then they get a little bit more rest of the Thanksgiving week, and they might be all right. I mean, it could make sense strategically as well. I mean, on the same note, if you do have someone that's hurt but not injured, and you say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna sit you down Saturday. I may sit you down Monday. Give you a whole week there if you've got somebody who's hurt like that. I don't think you do though at this point. So, maybe not. Right? You probably may not want to rest because this team's got momentum right now. That momentum is hot, surging. And I agree with you, Trey. It's a lot different when you want to rest and you 12-4, or you are 11-5 or something. Versus we still in a little bit of a hole, and I think we need to kind of keep building on this because the start was so bad for this team this year.
Yeah, them boys can start resting on November 24th and the 25th and half of the day on the 26th before they get to Miami. Like right now, we're at 6 seed now. We're out of the play-in, and we got to keep this trending upward, man. We got to get to 500, and we got to get a few games above it like both of y'all gentlemen said, man. Like, we're in no place to rest anyone, and we need to send a message. Them bums beat us down in Charlotte on the what they called him back in the day on the playground? A Fooshnickums foul call? Yeah, that's Fooshnickums at his finest. That foul call was so bad, LaMelo Ball wouldn't have called ball on that foul call, man. But we got to send a message to these boys tomorrow too. Let them know we ain't nothing to be played with. Dame Lillard come out there, you get 20 to 25, and we beat these boys by 15. We can rest them in the fourth quarter when we blowing them out. How about that?
The other thing is that, like, you're still only 15, 16 games into the season at this point, so you're not tired yet. Like, them legs ain't shot yet. You know how sometimes in late January you're like, oh, this team needs some rest. That AllStar break coming up, you're like, oh, these guys need rest. You're still so early in the season. Again, in combination with the bad start as well. Yeah, I don't really think you look at resting guys like that, letting them sit yet, unless somebody is hurt, unless somebody's really ailing with something. So I would agree with you. I would say, listen, there's going to be times in February where you're going to sit guys down and say, look, this guy's just beat up. It is what it is. There may be times in March where you say the same thing, or even January. So, yeah, maybe you don't hit that button now, because come 2025, you're certainly going to have moments where you want to give guys some rest.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's where I am. So I think we're all in agreement. We're not resting. Corinne Jamar Kenner says, "Let's hit the like button." Hey, appreciate it. Hey, everybody, if you can hit that like button, subscribe to the Cream City Crossover. We would greatly appreciate it. Fellas, it was a 129-117 victory for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Again, everything trends are looking up for the Bucks. Real quick before we go to the game ball here. I want to ask you guys at this point, talking about the bench and things of that nature. Somebody in the chat talking about the bench is look good. Have we seen enough at this point? We kind of ask this every couple of nights. You've won 5 of your last 6. Like I said, really, you won 6 in a row. Does this look more like a championship team? Do you need to? Obviously, I mean, I don't have to get into trades. I don't think we have to get into trades just yet. But like, I know that you still have to improve. You want to improve a team. Always want to improve your team. But with what you're seeing, because I would say, especially before the last 5 or 6, when you look at this basketball team, bringing Chris Middleton back to it, don't get you nowhere close to a championship. My question is, out of the last 5, 6, when you've seen this. Does that look more like, okay, let's add Chris Middleton to the mix, and you cooking with gas? Where are you on that?
I tell you, from what I've seen over this last 5 and 6, and then I think about bringing Chris Middleton back. Oh, we getting out the first round. Like that sounds silly because you're like, what do you mean the Bucks team?
Go ahead. That's not the goal.
It's not the goal, but we getting out the first round, right? And so basically getting into that Final Four in the East, if you want to put it that way, if you want to make it sound a little bit nicer. The semifinals, right? I think we get there based off of what I've seen. I still think you may have some different moves you want to make. And the biggest thing about Chris is it's a question mark. It's a question mark of when he's coming back. And then the question you got to ask is how's he going to look? I mean, there's a chance he comes back and vintage Chris is back. There's a chance he comes back and Chris doesn't look quite right. You've had a lot of surgeries. You're doing a lot of stuff on your ankle. I like we say it all the time. When you have operations on your ankle, your knee, your hip, those different fulcrums for explosiveness and everything else, it weighs on you from time to time. So I don't know. Chris trade is your favorite. What you call it? The on-ramp? They ramping Chris up?
Ramp up.
They're
going to ramp up.
Right. They put him on the vertical treadmill. And that's exactly what it is. That treadmill's at an angle, and it's straight up, right? And I think that's kind of so we don't really know. I'm not ready to say, yeah, we got to check. I haven't seen our horse that all of us are kind of really counting on at this point. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know where he's at. I don't know when he's going to touch the court. So no, I'm not going to go there. But I'll say this: we getting out the first round. We definitely getting out the first round, and I feel confident making that assertion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, JT. We definitely getting out the first round. We're not just getting out the first round. We're getting out the second round. We're getting out the Eastern Conference Finals. We're getting out the NBA championship. I feel confident enough, and it doesn't have anything to do with brother Silent Assassin, the Mr. Mitty himself, Cash Money back. Because if I see Dame and Giannis gelling like this, they're showing you why they're 2 top 75 and 75 players right now. And that trajectory is going upward. And then you got Gary Trent Jr. playing better. You got AJ Green playing better. So you add in a complete stud like Chris Middleton to this. Think about it. We played the Boston Celtics to the final 2 times. Yep. We played the Cavaliers tough. All these pseudo paper champions without K-Mid, without Giannis and Dame really gelling. So we're going to get better. And I just feel like the sky's the limit. And, I see my son in there going crazy, man. Light-skinned Justin holding us down, man. Hey, man, love you too, son.
Light-skinned Justin in the building says,
Justin in the building.
Cream City, love the content. subscribe. We appreciate it, 100%. Justin Garcia tweets out, just want to make this known. Justin Garcia tweets out, because it's kind of on the same wave here. Since November the 1st, so the month of November, offensive rating for the Bucks, 113.9. That's good for 12th. Defensive rating, 110.7. That's good for 9th. Their net rating is a 3.3, which is good for 10th in the league. So you have right now a top 12 offense, a top 10 defense, and your top 10 in net rating since November the 1st. Those are good signs. Those are good trends. And I said this earlier on Twitter, and because the 2-8 start, it forces you to reevaluate, forces you to panic. I don't like that you had to go to panic mode to figure this out. But we've been talking. Andre Jackson Jr. should be playing. Now, Ryan Rollins contributed as well. I know he's been out for a while, but Ryan Rollins started to contribute. He's contributed to that since November 1st. We talked about he should have been playing all along. Pat Connaughton's got, oh man, get Pat Connaughton finally sitting. These trends have continued to move in a good direction. It sucks that it took 2 and 8 to get there, to make some of these things happen. But you get there, as long as you get there, it's fine. The path is not always straightforward. Sometimes you gotta go through some things to get there, and the Bucks have absolutely done that. But it's good that they are on the right track of things, and that hopefully will continue. Let's get to it, man. Let's do some game balls. We gotta get back to back tomorrow. So let's see if we can get out of here fairly early before a full day of football. Saturday, some consequential matchups in the college football landscape. Again, the Bucks play the Hornets tomorrow night. So let's do some game balls and look around and get up out of here. Where are you guys going with the game ball tonight? I'll go first because I'll make it easy. It's going to be Giannis for me, 37, 10, 11. You do a triple-double, get the dub. I ain't got much to say. Slamming it all over everybody's face. My man is thrusting and gyrating in the front row. You saw you saw what he's doing. Man looking like, hey, man, I know he got about 4 kids. He popped one out every year. Looked like he was about to pop one out on the basketball once he dunked it. I'm a freak in the court and in the thing and in these sheets. So hey man, that's what Giannis is on. That's the type of time he on. He put it on tonight for Giannis.
We off the rails.
Yeah. He gets the game ball.
All right, well listen, man. I don't even know what to say to that. My game ball tonight, though. Again, man, Gary Trent Jr., you earned it, sir. You earned it, sir. For those of y'all who are new to this thing, 6 for 10 tonight. Gary Trent Jr., he only took threes tonight, looks like. 6 for 10, only took threes tonight. Man, finished with 18 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Absolutely love it. Some key points. And also, threw that lob off the back, or threw that up off the glass for Giannis to come and throw that thing. Man, Gary Trent Jr., welcome back. Welcome back with the fuse back and everything. Man, we rocking and rolling. Gary Trent Jr. earned your game ball tonight. Man, and if he wants to thrust and gyrate, go ahead and do that too, brother. Go ahead and do that too. What you said? I mean, because the funny thing about Trey, though, real fast, though, because I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you finish, Justin. I'm going to let you finish, right? Trey's over here talking about, he in the front row thrusting and gyrating and everything else, right? And he could have very well been talking about, Prince Rogers Nelson, rest in peace. He could have been talking about Jamiroquai. Could have been talking about Bruno Mars. In between blackjack hands, and he talking about Giannis like that, man. All right.
Man, this is probably the hardest one I had to do, man. So I like JT's because I feel like what Bobby didn't bring us in the second half, Gary Trent Jr. picked it up, right? But I look at AJ Green. I really want to go there. I feel like he had a hell of a basketball game. This dude is a hooper. He's a straight hooper. But man, Bobby. I'm probably gonna kick kicked out this hotel in West Virginia. We ain't supposed to be making too much noise, but Bobby is my game ball. First one of the year, well deserved, Mr. Portis, Mayor of Milwaukee.
So, there you go.
I got a question, Justin. I'm just dying to know. And really, I hope nobody looks into this any more than I'm just at. Why are you in West Virginia? I just have to know. I listen, man. I grew up in Virginia. Y'all know that. Before moving to Milwaukee and everything else too. I've been in West Virginia a couple times.
Yeah, Badgers
our beloved Wisconsin Badgers played in the Greenbrier Tip-Off Classic today. The boys went absolutely crazy. Blackwell went crazy. Max Klesman, Brian Winter, just kids playing good basketball up here, man. The state of Wisconsin, when you spell our state, make sure you spell basketball in front of our state because we got hoopers at every school except for Green Bay. Go to hell, Doug Gottlieb.
Yeah, I can't stand Doug Gottlieb at all. And I think they got their butts whooped tonight too.
Oh no, you're right. Basketball, the interior lineman. Hey, that's what Wisconsin produced.
Sir.
Milk, basketball, interior lineman, and beer.
There you
Beer.
go.
Cheese
There
if
you
you're not, cheese if you're lucky,
Don't forget
dairy if you're
running back.
lucky. Yeah, y'all
Yeah, they do have running back you for sure.
Bro, y'all import backs though. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Them boys ain't from. I mean, Braylon Allen was, but most of the boys is from other states coming in and running in that backfield.
Deshaun Hill says that Wisconsin Badgers jersey is hard. So again, I do like the jersey. So good deal, Justin, out there supporting the Wisconsin Badgers. Let's do the look around for the NBA tonight. Bucks, of course, winning 129-117, big dub. The Bulls beat the Hawks tonight, 136-122. Rockets beat the Trailblazers. The Warriors end up being a good game against the Pelicans, 112-108. They get the dub. The Sixers win their third game of the year. How about that? 113-98. I believe it's already been announced that Joel Embiid, he didn't play tonight. How about Jared McCain? 30 points for Jared McCain. Boy, that brother is balling. He grew up in the same kind of league as Caleb Williams, but he out there doing his thing.
He had a nail polish on tonight. He had a nail polish on tonight.
I don't know if he played. Sure, I don't know why he wouldn't. Don't know why he wouldn't.
He had a nail polish on tonight.
He always do, but he out there giving buckets. He out there doing something Caleb Williams can't do, which is ball. Caleb Williams ain't out there. Well, I know I ain't gonna get into it because we got into it the other night. But he out there, Jared McCain out there doing his thing. Maybe you got.
I bet Jared McCain is out there doing his thing.
With him.
Yeah, I bet.
Get Joel Embiid them TikTok dances because Jared McCain out there going crazy.
Right, I bet Jared McCain is out there doing his thing. There's no question about that.
He is.
There's no question about that.
Eight games in a row with 3 or more 3-pointers.
Yeah.
From that kid McCain. So.
He's rookie of the year right now. Rookie of the year for sure. It's early though. It's early. Boston beats the Wizards 108-96. Then we got some blowouts going. The Clippers up 51-29 right now at halftime. My God, the Kings didn't score. They didn't score 30 points at half. What the hell is going on? It's so funny because I was told that the NBA Cup is what brings the NBA Cup is all the great. That's what everybody's playing for the NBA Cup. And you got teams out there, they playing hard for the NBA Cup, and they can't score 30 points at the half. And then the Nuggets are down 81-66 to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm looking at this 1-2 Bucks. I would call that a blowout. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 blowouts. Only one close game in the NBA. When are they go? So this is what I want. All the people that try to tell me about how the NBA Cup brings out it's just so much better in the competition because everybody's going after this NBA Cup. Lies. There are good nights in the. I don't understand why people made that lie up last year. Were there some good NBA Cup games? Yes, there were. But the fact that you had to sit up there and tell some type of a lie that's the night the NBA was really balling a nice NBA Cup. No, it's just a regular NBA night. And every now and then, you get a bunch of blowouts. And tonight, the NBA Cup is on the line, all this money on the line, and teams out there can't get 30 at the half. So clearly, it ain't the NBA Cup. Y'all got to stop this madness and doing all this. I do want to go on one thing Bucks related before we go, before we do any other look arounds. Because go ahead, Justin.
I was just gonna say the NBA Cup matters to Indianapolis. I think that's about it. And the Lakers, they can hang that banner.
Nobody care about that. Literally, you're gonna have to do something. I mean, again, we've talked about this with the AllStar game, the NBA Cup. You're gonna have to really heavily, and I hate to say this, but because it's their jobs, but you're gonna have to find ways to heavily incentivize these teams and clubs if you really want to try to make this. If you really want to try to make the AllStar game, the AllStar break, or the NBA Cup is competitive and make teams give a damn, you're going to have to find a way to do so. And listen, excuse me, these guys are getting paid a lot of cash. They're getting paid a ton of money. And nobody cares. It's just nobody cares. Adam Silver seems to me like the teacher that's like always 1 or 2 steps behind. That's kind of what he comes off to me as, the teacher who's always 1 or 2 steps behind.
Well, since you're going there, since you're going there and talking about before I go to the Bucks story, since you're talking about the All-Star game, did you hear about the new 4-team tournament style for the 2025 All-Star game? Did you hear about that?
Was it so? Is that the proposal, or did they finalize that?
No, this is let me see. No, this is what they're going to do. Shams reported this today. What's today's date? The 20. As of yesterday, the NBA's new 14 tournament style format for 2025 All-Star game is expected to have 2 semifinal games played up to 40 points, with the winners advancing to the final matchup to 25 points. The first of its kind event is expected to serve as a quick burst competition that resembles pickup games where the winner moves to the championship round in single elimination play. Sources told ESPN last week the NBA was in serious discussion to have 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each, and the winner of the Rising Stars game take part in an All-Star game tournament. So my question to you guys, will that change the All-Star game and the feel of it? It's very gimmicky, but do you think that will work?
I hate to say this, but this is the culture that we're in. What is the prize for the winning team?
Yeah, that
is the prize. That's where you got to start with this culture. It's not about, oh, we're going to change the format. Okay, what is the prize for the winning team? What makes guys who make it worth it for them to say, hey, we want to play hard? What's the reward?
Yeah, that I don't know. See, I think one thing. If you want to do that, what about MVP $5 million? Everybody should be gunning for it. And you know what? I think too. I think they should do this. I think they should do this. An MVP where you get the money for the MVP, you get money for winning. But you know what else? They really need a defensive player of the All-Star game, and give that the defensive player All-Star. Give the defensive player All-Star game $1 million, and see if we can get some more steals and somebody getting in a defensive stance and sliding their feet. Maybe you'll see a little bit of that.
And make that like a fan vote, right? You make that a fan vote, because now the people watching gonna be like, hey, who out there getting it in?
Actually, I don't want it, because I somehow Bronny James end up with a damn.
Charles Barkley already said all the fans are stupid, so the vote's gonna come out wrong anyways.
That's probably right.
The $5 million thing, I think that would give some credibility to it. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of these guys want to be named an All-Star. And once they're named an All-Star, that's where it sets. And we go to whatever set city it is, except for Indianapolis, because no one wants to go there. Sorry, not sorry.
Wouldn't go if I knew the way.
Halliburton's dad. Hey, man, we throwing shots tonight, man. But no one wants to go there other than to go to the parties, go to the club, see where Jay-Z or whoever's having their party, and then we'll move on. Hey, man, real quick, shout out to my Uncle Duff killing me in the chat. Nah, I get that razor back December 1st, Unc.
Oh, man. Oh, he got you for – oh, man. Hey.
That's funny. Yeah, but that's tough. Again, but here's the thing, because the question I asked was, will it work? My answer, I think it will work for a year or two, just like the Elam ending worked when Kobe died, and they did we're gonna make it 24 points. That first All-Star game back was crazy because everybody wanted to play hard, and they did the thing, and then it kind of fell back off. And last year was an absolute joke. So I think it'll work for a year, and they'll be, oh, this is a great success. And then a couple years after, you'll be trying to find. That's the thing, when you provide a gimmick, you have to keep doing gimmicks. And I think that's the issue Adam Silver has. I guess my thing would be, listen, you don't have to have a gimmick for this game. Go out there and try. The guys got to go out there and try. That's all you got to do is go out there and try, and you can run the game. Just again, Michael Jordan and boys. They went out there and put an All-Star game on back in the day. So, but again, all that is lost. You're right, JT. There are different motivations for these group of players than there used to be. Used to be. Go ahead. Yeah, it used to just be people wanted to go out there because, like I said, you got a name on the back of your jersey. I wanted to match up against Michael Jordan and see what he was going to do. But yeah, clearly they don't care about that anymore.
Well, look, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get embarrassed.
That's what it's. It's not. I don't think it's about getting hurt. I think you're right. I think you hit it. It's about being embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed. Go ahead, Justin.
I think Adam Silver is kind of leaning over to that NHL thing because the NHL All-Star, I think, is one of the best ran All-Star games with the skills competition, and then the 3-on-3. It's like the power play, the overtime hockey rules where the East plays the Mid-Atlantic, blah, 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 all the divisions, and then you crown one champion between that. It worked well for the NHL. I don't know, man. I feel like with the NBA, our guys in the NBA are a little bit different than hockey players. Hockey players show up to play hockey. It's kind of like the Pro Bowl in the NFL, right? They had to completely move away from that.
Yeah.
One, because of injuries, but then two, so many dudes were declining it. So right now, I watch AllStar for all the theatrics outside of the actual basketball. And then I'm just hoping that my guys don't get hurt. But the two AllStar games that I have the most fun watching are baseball and hockey, because it's the true sport is there in the actual AllStar game. And in hockey, it's the best part of the sport, the overtime rules.
And in base, I mean, and the way baseball works, I mean, maybe you don't have to have these guys play a full set. I mean, baseball, how many times? What do you say? Sometimes people go out and you get one at bat, and that's it. So maybe you add a couple extra roster spots, and that way you say, hey, you give me 10 minutes, you give me 10. I just need 10 minutes. That's all I need. And so that way it's more like that versus trying to have everybody play, trying to figure out how you do this. But and like I said, if you say, hey, 10 minutes and you're done, get in there, go ball, and we'll pull you out so you don't get hurt. Maybe that can help too. But yeah, people just want to see the stars go out and actually give a damn. One last thing I want to get to, and then if you guys want anything else, we could do that. There's a report that came out that no team has shown interest in making a deal with the Bucks. No team has shown interest in making a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks at this time because the only two players they have made available in trade discussions are Marjon Beauchamp and Pat Connaughton. Rival teams would much rather discuss Bobby Portis, but Milwaukee has not yet made him available. This is per Brett Siegel, national NBA insider reporter for Clutch Points. I don't know how. I do know he's a national reporter. I don't know how reputable. I don't know. Brett Siegel hasn't. I don't know what. I haven't seen it. Something interesting enough. I went to his page. He has me blocked, so I don't know what the hell I said to piss him off. JP,
he got you blocked.
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I've said to Brett Siegel to piss him off. But I don't even remember. So whatever. But. What do you think about that? That apparently the Bucks, to this date, have not made Bobby Portis available for trade. It's interesting to me because Bobby Portis was available for trade last year. So I don't know. But again, we've talked about this all the time. Yeah, you're not getting. Ain't nobody trying to trade for Marjon and Pat Connaughton. Like what? Like we gonna trade these guys for what? What is that gonna do for you? So if you're gonna get serious and you want to upgrade the team, Bobby Portis has to be made available. But where are you guys on that after hearing that report?
I think the most measured response I can give you is the trade deadline is Thursday, February 6th, 2025. Today is November 22nd, 2024. We got a lot of time for that to change. We got a lot of time for that to change. And as of now, he hasn't done it. Sure, maybe there's some strategy. Maybe Horst is like, just wait. Let's see who's in contention. Let's see if we maybe he figures out, hey, we'll put him out there when it's when he thinks there's a few teams that really need him to get over the top, or there's a few teams that really need him to play a role, and maybe the price goes up. I'm not really sure because here's the thing: I think there's a lot of teams in the league for a trade for Bobby Portis. The question you always got to ask is, what are they going to give up, and what need does that fill for the Bucks? And does it become a situation where you got to move Bobby Portis, and let's say the team that's going to trade for him really doesn't have anything to offer you with draft picks? Well, then now we got to get another team involved here because that's not going to work, right? If we trade Bobby Portis for a bunch of draft picks, I would be so livid at the Bucks for that. One, because we can't develop draft picks, and two, how do those help us now?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, and JT, I mean, I feel like this is the first time we're going to agree with trade Bobby Portis ever. If you're not getting better, don't make a trade because half the fan base wants to get rid of him. And the guru hates the mayor of Milwaukee.
I don't hate him.
Loves the mayor of Chicago.
I don't hate him.
He likes the mayor of Milwaukee a lot better than the mayor of Milwaukee. No, I was just joking. But seriously, man, like if we're not getting better, don't just make a trade for the sake of making a trade, right? I understand why you want to trade Connaughton and why you want to trade Beauchamp, but also the rest of the league understands why you want to trade him too, because right now Beauchamp isn't adding value to this team. I'm not saying if a sprained ankle here, a pulled tendon here, he can't make an impact, but he's not right now. It's kind of funny to me how the league doesn't really value Connaughton, though, because, again, if you look back at that Hornets game, we're not in that game without Patty C. He
man.
clutched 3-pointers, good defense in the fourth quarter, played a great fourth quarter.
Listen,
but
broke clock right twice a day.
I don't like Torrey Craig either.
Right. Listen, I mean, right, but just, I mean, are we really going to act like Pat Connaughton, if he's not completely cooked, that check engine light coming on now? Listen, most of the time, them tires are balding, man. Most of the time, it's just like, nah. It's a whole lot of bad coming from the Pat. As of recently, especially. I mean, 2021 is a long time ago. Wow.
He can hit a shot. He can get a shot every now and then.
I mean, okay, but but is that a guy who you gonna put him in the lineup?
Right. That's your issue. Is he can't defend at the level of AJ Green. He's not reliable enough to shoot the ball. Like I said, can he do it? Yes, but that his defense where jumping by guys I hate how he plays defense all the time. Somebody pass somebody the ball. All you gotta do is pump, and Pat Connaughton is in the third row. You looking at him as he go by you, sidestep and shoot a wide open jump shot. I've never seen, I don't know. He's blocked. I could probably count on one hand how many times he's actually blocked a shot jumping like that over somebody. It's actually ridiculous.
I think Pat has a place in this league and a place to hoop. I just feel like maybe his time in this system after Bud is gone maybe isn't there anymore, right? And I hate to say it, but he was valuable from when we had him. But I think he has a skill asset that can work somewhere else in the league. But if we're not getting anything back that we could use, then just leave Giannis homeboy on the bench. Yeah. I mean, he can sit on the bench and work out with Giannis every day because getting Torrey Craig, that don't help us.
Nah.
I'd rather get Stacey King to do our broadcast.
Yeah, man. Like I said, and Pat Connaughton's main skill is gentrification. So that's what he out here contributing to society at this point. Just one MKE says, dumb question. Do these tournament games count towards the regular record? Are they part of 82 games? Yes, they are. That's how it goes. Todd Merrill says he likes the AllStar format, which again, I don't mind. I don't mind that you change. I really don't. I don't think it. Again, I think it's going to work. Let me say this. I think it's going to work for a time or two. The question is, at the end of the day, the way the All-Star game works, it don't matter what format you have. If the guys don't try, it ain't going to work. So at some point, they have to try consistently. You have all the formats in the world. They've got to try, and that's how this thing gets better. And unless they do that on a consistent basis, it will continue to look the exact same. Bucks win tonight, 129-117. They defeat the Indiana Pacers, get a much-needed dub, continue to get this thing rolling. I love it. Light-skinned Justin, appreciate you. He said he's out in Mobile, Alabama. Much love to you. QWERTY says hit the like button. We actually absolutely would love for you to do that. Any final words after 129-117 sweet revenge victory over the Indiana Pacers in the game, and I thought had a little bit of, like I said, my dad was at the game. He sent me a text and said, he thought it had a playoff feel to it, a little bit of juice to get this thing started, and definitely looked like that as the Bucks got this thing rolling. And this again, they let down a little bit, but they got it rolling. Any final thoughts on the Bucks beating the Pacers here?
I'm glad we can just kind of put this behind us. I know last year the Pacers kind of seemed like they had the best of us, and it was just a weird dynamic. But I think from looking at them tonight, and it's just clear that at our best they cannot compete, and they are who we thought they were, right? They are exactly who we thought they were, and nothing more. A team with talented players that's just overall is not really that good. That overachieved last year, got a little bit lucky. And, the Bucks struggled with last year. But you know what? 2023 is 2023. March of 2024 is March of 2024. Or May or whatever it was we played them in the playoffs. Look, I mean, that's in the past. At this point, hey, ain't worried about them. They're looking at us. They're looking at the back of our jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, well said, JT. 2 out of 3 of our big 3 being on the floor tonight, and it's an immense difference with the role players that we thought they were going to be. A Gary Trent Jr. upgrade and a Taurean Prince upgraded over a Malik Beasley, and a DeLon Wright playing a lot better basketball over a Pat Bev. Love Pat Bev, but this is just better basketball that we see right now. The Pacers are punks. You saw that stuff with I forget the center's name, walking off the court and he elbowed Andre Jackson Jr. And I like the way that Ajax took the elbow, kept going back to the bench. And at the end of the day, we scoreboard them dudes. And that's what you're supposed to do, man. Hey, lastly, man, I want to give a big shout out to Great Guard for a hell of a basketball win today and sending a message up here to the entire nation, including our favorite who's not here tonight, Chris King. We putting you on notice. Great Guard wants all your smoke. He up the chimney. And then Bart Lundy, too, at UW Milwaukee, man. Great blowout win for the Panthers. They back to 500, man. Hey, when you talk about basketball, make sure you put that WI before you put win, because we got it right now, dog. Hey. Shout out to Shaka, too.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well said, both of you guys, man. Again, Bucks get the dub. Again, one of those things, hey, keep your foot on the gas, and let's go win one tomorrow. You got revenge tonight. You got to go get some more revenge tomorrow because you shouldn't have lost that game to the Charlotte Hornets. So go out and get the dub. I know we talked about resting. No rest. Let's go get a win. And hopefully, again, Giannis is playing the most minutes that he's played, I think, in a while. I think he went 37 tonight, something like that. And so to get these wins, they are having attacks. Giannis and Dame going 30 plays. It's not like the Bud days where Giannis can play 29, 30 minutes and it's a blowout, game over. What I did like about the NBA Cup tonight, I don't know if you noticed, but in the game, Andre Jackson Jr. was kind of dribbling around. And I think it was Pat Connaughton. The bench was like screaming at him because the point differential is a part of seeding in the NBA Cup. They were screaming at Andre Jackson to go score, and he went. And I don't know if he missed the layup, but I think Chris Livingston came, got a tip slam and dunked it. And that was pretty cool to see. The backup guys doing that. I remember last year was a big deal because people were leaving starters in for when the game was out of reach and trying to score. And I believe it was Billy Donovan last year who got upset at the Boston Celtics, who when the Boston Celtics were basically just continuing to run the score up, it's 3 minutes left, and Joe Mazzulla and Billy Donovan had to talk at half court. Billy Donovan was like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And Joe Mazzulla was like, "Hey, I gotta run the score, big dog." So that was pretty comical. I thought it was
did it against Hornets too.
Yeah, so you have teams that were doing that, and that may be one of the reasons why. I'm looking at the scores, and we did see so many kind of blowups. Where even though the Nuggets have closed the gap a little bit on the Mavericks, so I'll check that out once we get out of here. But a big win tonight, 129-117. As they gonna say out in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, at Curly's, you clear your board, I'll clear mine. We'll do this one more time when they playing bingo. We're gonna do it one more time tomorrow night as the Bucks take on the Charlotte Hornets. Justin, you had something for me?
Yeah, what's our standings look like in that cup before we get out of here?
Absolutely. It's a great question. The standings in the cup, the Milwaukee Bucks are the number 1 seed right now at 2-0 in the group. In the Easter group, they are the number 1 seed at 2-0 with a point differential of 26. Detroit is also 2-0 with a point differential of plus 4, so they are a little bit below the Bucks. Miami is flirting at 1-1 with a point differential plus 13, and Indiana is. This result, the Milwaukee Bucks may have knocked the Indiana Pacers out of the NBA. So the Pacers knocked the Bucks out of the NBA Cup last year. The Indiana Pacers right now are 0-2 and a minus 25 point differential. So to get that wild card, you need to have a point differential that gets you there. That may be all she wrote for Indiana. They need a lot of help in the NBA Cup to continue to get where they want to be. And right now, the leaders right now, the East leaders in the NBA Cup, Orlando, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Those will be your 3 at-large bids, if you will, winners of their group. And then you have the Knicks, who would be the second, or at least they would be the wild card right now with a plus 14 win differential and sitting at 2-0. Right above the Detroit Pistons. Right now, funny that another team that's out of the NBA Cup, the Boston Celtics right now would not be competing in Vegas. So that would be interesting. On the Eastern side of things, in the West right now, it's Golden State, Houston, LA, and Dallas, who would be your group of 4 for your semifinals participants out in Vegas. Regular standings, I think you talked about it, Justin, for a second. Bucks have gotten themselves to 7-9. They are now, despite all the turmoil to start the year, folks, they are 2.5 games out of 3rd place. So they have got themselves right back to where they need to be, and in 6th place in the East. The Indiana Pacers right now, after the season ended, will be on the outside looking in like the bums they are.
I think the Celtics would actually win that because they're plus 14 point differential, where the Hawks are -1. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I know that Atlanta's above them because of alphabetical order, but I believe the Celtics would trump them right now.
Are you?
But we want the Celtics to make it.
Yeah. So did it? Well, my question: did Atlanta beat? Who did Boston lose to?
I have no idea.
See, my guess, and I'm not sure. My guess is maybe Boston, because right now that's what I see what you're saying. But yeah, for whatever reason they have for whatever reason, yeah, they have Boston as second. So my guess is Boston must have lost to Atlanta. That must have been who they lost.
Come on, Boston, get there. So we got another reason to beat you.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
Possible.
But yeah, so good stuff all the way around. And right now, yeah, your two teams in the East. Your two top teams in the East right now would not be there. Boston and Cleveland. Cleveland's 1-1. They do have a plus 15 win differential, point differential though. So we'll see how that works. Joker. I know we talked about Joker in the opening, talking about Giannis and Joker. Giannis got a triple double. Joker is 2 assists away from a triple double from I think it's back to 3 straight triple doubles for Joker. So he says, not so fast, my friend. Bucks win again, 129-117. Man, it's been a great night. Great night of hoops, great night of basketball, a great night for the Milwaukee Bucks, a great week for the Milwaukee Bucks, a great 6 games for the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Indiana Pacers are left in the dust tonight. They lose at 129-117. You lose, you get nothing. Good day, sir, is what we would say to the Indiana Pacers. Let's see, man. I want to thank, of course, Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill, our sponsors tonight. I want to thank you guys in the chat, every single one of you, for watching us and listening to us in every way that you do it. Please hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all of that. And you know you got to tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another motherfucking friend about the Cream City crossover. We appreciate it. Please do that. It helps us out tremendously. We enjoy it, and we enjoy your company, comment, all that good stuff. We thank you. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Truck House III.
JT.
Justin, beat the Huskers.
If I am your enemy, it is only because I